everybody. So, I went through your assignments. Now we are going to I checked off that your vocab, that you handed that in, or that you had it complete, and you're gonna still use it today. So, I want to go through and give you the correct answers. So look at your vocab sheet, and I'll give you the answers. I think. All right. Number 1, perils are what?
Danger.
A, danger. Placidly is, you guys can just shout them out.
Quietly.
No.
Violently.
No.
Quietly.
Let's show your class. Say hi to Addie, everybody.
Hi.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay, that's enough. Placidly is B, gently.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Okay, I'm going to wait for you guys to be quiet. Okay, number 3, let. Let. What is let, do you think? This is probably one you're unfamiliar with. Rented. Thank you. Let is rented. 4, rubicund of visage. Red-faced. B, red-faced. Number 5, dowdy. Dowdy is
Brave.
C, brave. Number 6, presumptuous. Presumptuous would be A, overconfident. Overconfident. Number 7, keenly. C, intensely. Number 8, talisman. A, a charm.
Why did it laugh?
9, credulity. Nope. Credulity. It has the word cred in it. A, belief. If something's credible, you believe it, right? 10, prosaic. Prosaic is A, ordinary. 11, avaricious is greedy. 12, interposed is A, interrupted. 13, compensation is,
Handout.
no, it's C, payment. You're compensated for your work, okay? 14, apathetically. Someone's apathetic. Unemotionally. They're emotional. Fusillade.
A. C. B.
Harmony. B, an outburst.
Oh my God. I did so bad.
Okay? Okay. So now we're going to actually read the story, The Monkey's Paw. But while we are reading the story, we are also going to do a close reading of it. What's close reading? I'm going to write 2 things up here. Flip it around. Close reading. Actually, I should take this off. I'll come over there too, you guys. Close reading.
I'll draw you.
We have talked about this before. And annotate. So close reading book close to your face. What is close reading? Jameson. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's paying close attention to details while you're reading. And it's something that you should be starting to do as you get into high school and you have literature courses. That's what your English will be. You'll be doing a lot of reading, and you will be asked to be looking for specific things, and you want to notice those details because you'll be doing analyzing and all of those things. So you want to do close reading, pay attention to details, and sometimes you'll be asked to look for specific details. Today, we're going to do some close reading and be paying attention to vocabulary while we're reading. Okay, what's annotate? You annotate while you are close reading. What is annotate? What?
We write that down.
You don't have to write it down. I'm just talking about it with you so you know what it is. If you want to, you sure can. What is annotate or annotating? Any guesses? We did talk about this.
Kind of like
Ariam?
paying closer attention.
No. You do it while you're close reading.
Write down vocabulary.
Okay. It is writing down details as you're reading right in the text. So, you know, as good readers, you make connections to your reading. So you might write down as you're reading something and it reminds you of something. You might write down in the margin, oh, reminds me of first grade or something, you know, whatever it is it makes you think of. If there's a vocabulary word that you're not sure what it means, you might look it up and write down in the margin the meaning of that word. If there's a question while you're reading and you don't understand a part, you might write down what's happening here. Or if there's a part that you do understand but you want to remember it, you might highlight and write a little note on the side. Okay, so that writing, annotating while you are reading will help you when you have to go back later and find evidence to write your paper, or you have an answer to a question, or you're going to be discussing in class, and then you have things marked, you've annotated, and you've done a close reading. Okay, so we're going to do some of that today while we are reading The Monkey's Paw. Today, we're going to annotate very simply for vocabulary. So now you have the vocabulary words, and I gave you the answers. So now, when you come across that word in the story, you can write down the definition of it. You can write the one-word definition right next to it. Okay? So let me get the stories out to you. It's kind of small print. So as we come across the words from your vocabulary sheets, as we come across these words in a story, I would like you to underline them, and I would like you to write the one-word definition that is on this sheet next to it. I would like you to choose like a color. I guess if you don't have a color, use a pencil. If you have a color, use a color, and then do all of it in that color. We are going to be going back through this story other times, annotating for other things. So we want to use like different colors each time we annotate. So maybe in the future, next few classes, bring some colored, bring your markers or highlighters or something you can annotate in colors with. Okay, so one thing I am going to just get out of the way right now so that I don't have any reactions. There's a word in this story spelled like this. Okay? It's pronounced Fokker, okay? And it is, so I'm just telling you that right now. It is, no, it's a different vowel sound, right? So that's how you say it. It's an sound, not a sound, okay? It's an sound, not an sound. I'll tell you. Okay, this is why I'm telling you this. Okay, it's an old word for kind of like, not really a magician, but like a magician, someone who casts spells. What do you call someone who casts spells?
Wizard.
A witch? Not a witch or a wizard, but kind of, I guess, along those lines. Again, this story has some like kind of eerie, strange little things to it. And the Fokker is in the story, and he sets some spells. Okay? All right. So we are going to read the story. When we come across a vocab word, we are going to underline it and write the one-word definition. Okay? Highlight or underline, and then write the definition. So who wants to begin reading? Anybody? Okay, I guess I can begin. All right, Ariam, nice and loud, Ariam. You have a mask on. Right now. How about no? Shh, we're reading.
Father and son were at chess. The former, who possessed ideas about the game involving radical changes, putting his king into such sharp and unnecessary perils that it even provoked comment from the white-haired old lady knitting placidly by the fire.
Okay, we have two vocab words. What are they? Perils, which is danger. Placidly, which is perils was danger. Placidly is
Wait, is that me? Hi.
placidly is what?
Gently.
Gently.
Sorry,
Okay. Okay, so go ahead.
Hark at the wind, said Mr. White, who, having seen a fatal mistake after it was too late, was amiably desirous of preventing his son from seeing it. I'm listening, said the latter grimly, surveying the board as he stretched out his hand. Jack, I could hardly think that he'd come tonight, said his father, with his hand poised over the board. Mate, replied the son.
vocab word.
Let.
Let means
Rented.
rented. So underline let, and it means rented. So tell me what's going on.
He's ranting about how the dude who's doing these test stuff is like, oh, it's bad, and then he's like, oh yeah, and I hate living out here. It sucks. I don't like it here.
Okay, so father and son are playing a game of chess. The mother is sitting by the fire knitting. Okay, and they're waiting for someone, right? They're hoping someone will come. And they're saying, oh, you know, it's terrible because we live out so far, that they might not come tonight. And then they're saying, oh, they don't really take care of the road. And they say, oh, only 2 houses are rented out here. Are only let out here. So it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, not a lot of people. Inside, they've got the fire going. Outside, it says it's cold. Okay. Do you want to keep going, Ariam?
Sure. Never mind, dear, said his wife soothingly. Perhaps you'll win the next time. Mr. White looked up sharply just in time to intercept a knowing glance between mother and son. The words died away on his lips, and he hid a guilty grin in his thin gray beard. There he is, said Herbert White as the gate banged to loudly in heavy footsteps came toward the door. The old man rose with hospitable face and opening the door was heard condoling with the new arrival. The new arrival also condoled with himself, so that Mrs. White said, "Tut, tut," and coughed gently as her husband entered the room, followed by a tall, burly man, beady of eye, and rubicund of visage.
Okay, another vocab word. Rubicund of visage, right? Rubicund of visage, what does that mean? Red-faced. Sure, so the man has come, right? Whoever they're waiting for has come. Can you slow down a little bit, Ariam? Is there anybody else who wants to read?
Sure.
We're going to let Logan read. Thank you, Ariam.
Sergeant Major Morris, he said, introducing him. The Sergeant Major shook hands and, taking the pre-offered seat by the fire, watched contentedly while his host got out whiskey and tumblers and stood a small copper kettle on the fire. At the 3rd glass, his eyes got brighter, and he began to talk, the little family circle regarding with eager interest this visitor from different distant parts. As he squared his broad shoulders in the chair and spoke of wild scenes and doughty deeds, of wars and plagues and strange peoples. 21 years of it, said Mr. White, nodding at his wife and son. When he went away, he was a slip of a youth in the warehouse. Now look at him. You don't look to have taken much harm, said Mrs. White politely. I'd like to
Oh, and we're going to stop for a second because we missed a vocab word.
Dowdy.
Dowdy means brave. It is the 3rd paragraph from the bottom, the last line.
It starts with at the 3rd class.
Yep, the paragraph starts with at the 3rd class. So what's he doing? What's this man doing?
Sitting down, getting ready.
Drinking whiskey.
They're drinking whiskey, and what is the man doing? What's he talking about?
His great deeds.
Yeah, he's just starting to tell stories, right? Telling stories of things he's done, right? He's a sergeant. He's been a lot of places, and he's talking about brave deeds, wars, plagues, different people. He's kind of traveled around the world, so he's starting to tell all these stories. All right.
I'd like to go to India myself, said the old man. Just to look around a bit, you know. Better where you are, said the sergeant major, shaking his head. He put down the empty glass and sighed softly, shook it again. I should like to see those old temples and fakirs and jugglers, said the old man. What was that you started telling me the other day about a monkey's paw or something, Morris? Nothing, said the soldier hastily. Leastways, nothing worth hearing. Monkey's paw, said Mrs. White curiously. Well, it's just a bit of what you might call magic, perhaps, said Sergeant Major offhandedly. His three listeners leaned forward eagerly. The visitor absent-mindedly put his empty glass to his lips and then set it down again. His host filled it for him. To look at, said the Sergeant Major, fumbling in his pocket. It's just an ordinary little paw, dried to like a mummy. Dried to a mummy. He took something out of his pocket and pre-offered it to Mrs. White. Proffered it. Miss White drew back with a grimace, but her son, taking it, examined it curiously. And what is there special about it? Inquired Mr. White as he took it from his son and, having examined it, placed it upon the table. It had a spell put on my old fakir, said the Sergeant Major, a very holy man, who wanted to show that fate ruled people's lives, and that those who interfered with it did so their sorrow. Put a spell on it so that 3 separate men could each have 3 wishes from it. His manner was so impressive that his hearers were conscious that their light laughter jarred somewhat. Well, why don't you have 3, sir? Said Herbert White cleverly. The soldier regarded him in the way that middle-aged I won't regard to presumptuous youth.
Presumptuous. Oh, he said, did you finish that?
Oh,
I have.
He said quietly, and his blushy face whitened.
Okay, so first of all, we have a vocab word, presumptuous, which means overconfident. So,
Where is it?
it is in the paragraph that we just read. The soldier regarded him in the way. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom. Okay. Now, what are they looking at?
Monkey.
An old monkey's paw. So I kind of envision it kind of like if you guys ever had like a rabbit's foot, you know? Except usually the ones we see now are not real rabbit's feet, right? And it's like, and maybe it is, and they're like different colors. So it's kind of like just a little old monkey's paw that it makes me think of like a rabbit's foot that you might have had, that someone might carry around. They used to say it was good luck. But so, tell me about this monkey's paw.
It gives 3 men 3 wishes.
Okay, so whoever has it gets 3 wishes. It had a spell put on it, where whoever has it is granted 3 wishes. Well, who wouldn't want to have 3 wishes, right? Yeah, okay, so it sounds like a good thing to have, right? Okay. Okay, we're supposed to get to grammar today. But since I took a while in the beginning of class getting set up, we're not going to do grammar today. Okay, we're going to start grammar tomorrow, and we're going to continue on reading the story. One thing that I didn't tell you guys that I actually do want you to do, at the top of your story, could you put a little star in whatever color you're writing in and put vocabulary? It's going to be kind of like a little key, so that then you might do another color and something else that we annotate later, okay? So put a little star with whatever color you're writing with and put vocabulary. We're going to keep reading the story, but for homework, I would like you to finish the story and to continue annotating for vocabulary. So just what we're doing. Underline the word, write it in, write the one word from your sheet, from your vocab sheet, okay? Please bring the story with you tomorrow and the vocabulary sheet with you tomorrow when you come to class. Okay, so let's continue. Is there somebody else who would like to read? Okay, Ariam, and if you could, both of you, if you could slow down just a little bit, okay?
Where are we?
He said, we're on the bottom of the second page, where he said, well, why don't you have 3 wishes, sir? And he says, I have. And what kind of it says, he said quietly, and his blotchy face whitened. What does that make you guys think about?
He's lying.
Either he's lying, okay, maybe he's lying. Any other ideas?
He's embarrassed of what he
He's embarrassed,
He
okay?
wished for death and it's slowly.
What the heck?
Okay, something not quite right about his wishes, right? Okay, all right, go ahead, Ariam.
And did you really have the 3 wishes granted? asked Mrs. White. I did, said the sergeant major, and his glass tablet against the strong teeth. Has anybody else wished? Persisted the old lady. The first man had his 3 wishes. Yes, was the reply. I don't know about what the first 2 were, but the third was for death. That's how I got the call. His tones were so grave that a hush fell upon the group. If you had your 3 wishes, it's no good to you now then, Horace, said the old man at last. What do you keep it for?
Okay, so the first guy who had the paw, what did he wish for?
Death.
Death. He doesn't know what the first 2 wishes were for, but the last one he wished for death. What does that make you think?
It's cursed.
He's 14.
It's cursed. What's
Yeah,
cursed?
it-
The monkey's paw?
Yeah.
It has bad traits to it, like
It-
something. Let's say if you wish for 3 deaths, you get really old and always suffer. Something like that.
Okay, so there's something, even though you might get your wish, there's something that you maybe wouldn't want about the wish. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Ariam.
Oh. The soldier shook his head. Fancy, I suppose, he said slowly. I did have some idea of selling it, but I don't think I will. It has caused enough mischief already. Besides, people won't buy. They think it's a fairy tale. Some of them, and those who do think anything of it, want to try it first and pay me afterwards. If you could have another 3 wishes, said the old man, eyeing him keenly, would you have them?
Okay, we have a vocab word. Jameson, one vocab word. Did we come across?
What?
What vocab word did we just come across? Luke?
Wait, are we still saying what we
Oh.
did?
No.
No, we're saying what vocab word did we just come across?
Alright,
Anybody else? Leah, what did we come across? Keenly, which means
Intensely.
intensely. All right, go ahead, Ariam.
If you must wish, he said gruffly, wish for something sensible. Mr. White dropped it back in his pocket and placing chairs motioned his friends to the table. In the business of supper, the salesman was partly forgotten, and afterward the 3 sat listening in enthralled fashion to a second installment of the soldier's adventures in Israel. If the tale about the monkey's paw is not more truthful than those who confront us, said Herbert as the door closed behind their back, just in time for it to catch the last train, we shan't make much out of it. Did you give him anything for it, father? Inquired Mrs. White, regarding her husband closely. A trifle, he said, coloring slightly. He didn't want it, but I made him take it. And he pressed me and began to drive away. Likely, said Herbert with pretending horror. Why we're gonna be rich and famous and happy, wish to be an emperor, father to begin with, then you can't be henpecked. Down around the table, the 3 divided, now with Jim, Mrs. White, armed with a fancy mask.
Okay, so maligned Mrs. White. Okay, so so Sergeant left and he gave him the monkey's paw. Mr. White gave him a little money for it. What was the sergeant urging?
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. He was telling him not to use the monkey's paw, throw it away, right? Who's Herbert?
The dad.
Nope, Herbert's not the dad.
Son.
Herbert is the son. How is Herbert thinking about this?
I can get rich.
He's gonna get famous, he's gonna get fame. And
Does he really think that?
No, he thinks it's dumb.
He's kind of making fun of it a little bit. He's kind of being sarcastic. Okay? All right. So your homework is to finish reading the story and finish
Wait, like all 9
annotate
pages?
all 9 pages. And while you're reading it, continue annotating for vocabulary. Okay, that is your homework. Finish the story, annotate. annotate for vocabulary. Due tomorrow, by tomorrow.